And it's still, I don't know, and it's still not really right. But we're gonna make it all right, and everything is gonna be all right. Think it won't. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily go get it show. We do this every single day, every day. Every day it rains, every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the arts. The Daily Go Get Him show all up in your area. Flashback Friday. Thank God it's Friday, all up in your area. This is the second broadcast. We had to do it twice. Why? Because the first one wasn't working right. Huh? It wasn't working right. And so I had to start a new one. So it's gonna be all right. Yeah, you know it's gonna be all right. Think it won't. So today we are talking about. Today we are talking about why being homeless and being a bum ain't the same thing. Why being homeless and being a bum ain't the same thing, and they're not the same thing. They have a lot of the same qualities, but if you really think about it, one of the qualities that they have in common a lot is the misunderstanding that people have about both of them. Both of them, I think, homeless people and bums are misunderstood. There is no doubt about what being homeless means. It means that you do not have a home that you live in. It means that you do not have a place that you pay rent, a place that you pay a mortgage, a place that you can call home, a place where you house all of your belongings that belongs to you, or is in a place that's safe and secure with people that will make sure that that living space is a place where you have an actual address. An actual address. You know what I'm saying? So that's what being homeless is. And anybody can stumble upon homelessness. It's not something that I would wish on anybody, but it's definitely something that happens to a lot of people. And the crazy part about it is that it happens to people who never would have ever thought that they were going to become homeless in their lives, and they can find themselves in the middle of that circumstance. I'm trying to pop this chat out here. Now, let me see if I can move the chat. All right, I can move the chat. That's what I'm going to have to do, to move the chat. There we go. The chat is moved. So, like, I wasn't getting no chat. So I had the 86. I had the 86 the last live, and come back on this one. Recreate this one, because we're not doing that. That's what we're not going to do. T. Carey Wright is all up in the house. How you feeling, ma? Glad that you came out. S. Cook always up in here. I'm so glad that you came through, dear. And Carol Chamber, Leme Favorita, from the first time I saw you in that, I see you. I'm so glad to meet you. And Charlene Curry, Charlene Curry. What's going on, Charlene? How you feeling, Charlene? Good to see me some y'all, man. Sorry about the mix-up. If y'all came to the last one, I couldn't even see it, whether y'all came to the last one or not. But we are here, and we're going to make sure that everything is going to be y'all right, and everything is going to be y'all right. Thank you. Well, Carol Chamberlain says, I always say most of us are one paycheck away from being homeless. Well, I don't know about one paycheck, because if you own your home, you're not going to become homeless overnight. But something like a fire, being in a fire can render you homeless in a snap of a finger, a blink of an eye. One fell swoop, and you don't have anywhere to live. Now, the thing is, most of us have resources. Most of us have loved ones, people who like us, love us, will put us up for a little while, will make sure that we stay on our feet, will maybe even supply or provide for us financially. So homelessness is not as easy for some of us as it may be for others. But let's say that you are the type that are on your feet. You got a new job. You got a new job down south, far down south, southwest, Texas. You got a job down in Texas, Houston, Dallas, whatever. And, you packed up your family and y'all, no, wait a minute. I'm not even going to take it there. You don't even have a family yet. You just packed up and went down south, went down to Texas to make a new life for yourself. Maybe you got tired of wherever you came from and how it was going down and whatever it was. And you decided, I'm going to take this opportunity down in Texas. So you went down to Texas. Now, you don't have any family down in Texas. You don't have any real contacts. You went down there because the job that you were getting was paying good money. And there was opportunities down here. And even if you wanted to start a family, you were ready to do that. You were young enough, virile enough, vibrant enough, fertile enough. So you go down in Texas and you put a down payment on a house. Or an apartment, whatever, however it goes. By the luck of the draw, your house gets struck by lightning, some old crazy circumstance that the insurance company won't pay for. Act of God. And you just happen to not have the policy that will cover it. You don't have a house. And you're down there in Texas and you don't have anywhere to go. Now, the Red Cross puts you up for a couple of days in a hotel room, but you've lost everything. Everything may have been in that house. Everything that you brought from wherever you came from, East Coast, up in the Midwest, up north, whatever. You're down here. You don't know anybody. You're not established like all of that. Maybe you met a few of your neighbors and all of that kind of stuff, but you don't know anybody that you can stay with for a while and be okay. You don't have anybody down there that you can really depend on, lean on, somebody that will really, really be serious and dogged about helping you out and making sure that you get back on your feet. You have to apply for public assistance, but that doesn't make any sense to you because you still have your job. You didn't lose your job, but you lost your place. So you are homeless. You're not a bum, but you are homeless. You do not have a place to stay. You do not have an address. You may be staying in a hotel for a little while, little B&Bs, bed and breakfasts, whatever, staying there like it's your crib or whatever, trying to make it. And all of your resources are going towards being able to just have a place to stay at night. You're homeless. Now, what happens? You fuck around and lose your job. Get laid off or whatever. You left the job where you were and where all your peoples were to come down here. Bottom line is you're homeless right now. Now you're homeless. And that can take you anywhere. You can say, well, yeah, you homeless, but you're not messed up like that because you can always go back home, but you don't have the money like that. And maybe you don't want to go back home. Maybe your pride is in the way. You like, no, I got to find a way to make it down here. But in the meantime, while you're trying to make it down here, you don't have enough money to put yourself up every night. You are homeless. You do not have an address. No house. You might be sleeping in your car for a little while. On some homeless shit, like a musician or an actor that has traveled to California over to Hollywood trying to make an opportunity for themselves. It's not a good look, but you are homeless, but you're not a bum. You're upwardly mobile. You were working. Even when you were homeless, you were working. But you don't have anybody down there to hold it down for you, to take you under their wing, to show you the ropes, to take care of you until you can take good care of yourself again. Valerie, Miss Green is all up in the house. It's so good to see you. Thanks for coming out. And my big sis, Robbie Ming, coming in to do a thing. Yo, I'm glad that you did swing on by. And speaking of by, yo, what's up? Hello, yo, Annette Davis, the number one. What's going on? Annette Davis, the number one. What's going on, ma? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Mucho, 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 mucho. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all know I'm in Facebook jail right now. Y'all know I ain't getting out till Sunday evening. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Make sure that you share the show because I can't do that. These shit's just for show. Yeah, normally I be sharing the show with these. I ain't doing it today. I ain't doing last night either. So please share the show. And please make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel yet. What's going on, my brother Samaj Network? My man Samaj Network is all up in the house. Alabama's all up in Alabama's all up in the house. So yeah, you can find yourself homeless at any point in your life because being homeless is just a physical position. It just means that you don't have a home. It doesn't mean that you're a bum. But we need to talk about bums for a minute because back in the day, if you were homeless, we considered you to be a bum. Look, you had all the characteristics of a bum. You're out here on the streets. You don't have a home. Your clothes are bummy and dirty and you're stinking. And guess what? You also have an alcohol or drug problem. And you don't seem to be trying to do anything about it. See, back in the day, and I mean back in the day, I'm talking about in the 70s, 80s, maybe even the 60s. I'm not really sure. But back in those days, if you were a bum, if you were homeless, you were a bum. The two pretty much went hand in hand together. But as time went on, we've kind of changed the meanings of what being a bum is. See, you can be a bum. You can be a bum and have money. You can be a bum and be rich because you display bum type behavior. You display bum type behavior, like you a bum. You know how we use the word bum to describe an athlete or sports celebrity that we don't like when they don't play right. When they don't play well, you a bum. You a bum because being a bum is not just being bad at something. It's not just being homeless. It's not just being an alcoholic or a drug addict. It's not just being dirty and stinking. When you're a bum, you display unacceptable behavior. You're a bum. Like you have children and you don't spend no time with them. You have kids and you don't take care of them financially. You're a bum. You're living at your mom's house. You got a decent ass job, but you live at your mom's house so you don't have to pay nobody else. You're a bum. You make $75,000 a year, yet you want to live in your mom's house so you could pay $300 a month for rent and maybe take care of one utility bill because you're a bum. Meanwhile, you got 2-3 kids and you find every excuse in the world not to have to cut a check for them, spend time with them, be a real man, live up to your responsibility and act like a responsible adult. You know why? Because you're a bum. But you're a bum with a decent job and a house to live in. If you were homeless, the story would be totally different. If you were homeless, yeah, I doubt that you would be having or keeping a decent job. It's not impossible because just like we put in that scenario about if you moved down south or moved anywhere away from your home and you didn't have, resources of people that could help you out in the event of an emergency, you could be messed up and be homeless for a little while. A lot of people who are very successful today talk about when they were homeless. And many of them were on drugs or had some type of problem going on. But see, homelessness, and I don't want to get into certain things too soon. But homelessness has a lot to do with mental illness when it's not a situation where a natural disaster or some other type of circumstance where you have had to be moved out of your home with the inability to move into another home. You see people homeless out in the streets. You see tent cities and things like that. Especially when you come to major cities, you come to Philadelphia, you come to. I don't know if they have tent cities in New York. Shoot, as far as I'm concerned, in New York, a tent city wouldn't be that bad of an idea, except it gets cold as shit in the wintertime. You know, New York is colder than Philly in the wintertime. It's always about 5 or 6 degrees colder in New York than it is here. That shit is up north. It's the last stop before you hit New England. You know New England cold as shit. But anyway, you know, as small as the apartments and houses are in New York, a tent might be pretty much comparable. Like, I got just as much room in here as I grew up with. This shit reminds me of the room that I had to share with my other 7 brothers and sisters. And 3 bunk beds. Yeah, it was 3 bunk beds in a small, like, you know, it was like a 6x10. 6x10, a room 6x10. Yeah, 6x10. 3 bunk beds. How'd y'all get them in there? We had to actually move the bunk bed out of the way when we came into the room. Like, the bunk bed was the door. We pushed the bunk bed out. Hopefully nobody wasn't sleeping on it. Then, you know, when we got inside the room, you had to step aside from the bunk bed and push it closed. That was the door. It was a see-through door. It was a bunk bed door. Anyway, but we had the good bunk beds. You know what I'm saying? We had the wooden joints. We ain't had that cheap metal shit. Anyway, when you come to major cities, you see tent cities and things like that. And you would think that everybody who lives in those tents are homeless because because they don't have anywhere to go. And that's not the case for all of them. Homelessness in that situation has so much to do with mental illness. You know, a lot of those homeless people really want to be out there on the streets. You know, mental illness tells them that being out there on the streets is really better than living in a home where you have all of these obligations or where you can't live peacefully and do the things that you want to do. Maybe in being homeless that way, you may be collecting SSI or some type of social security check. If you notice, well, I know I've noticed that all homeless people are not begging. They're not all panhandlers. Sometimes I see plenty of homeless. They just resting out on the street on some old pulling the covers over them shit. I'm like, wow. So they wasn't begging for no money. People come by and give them food or drop a couple of dollars on them and be like, hey, thanks. But if they wasn't begging for the money or digging in the trash or anything like that, that kind of indicates to me that maybe they're not all of that broke. Because I tell you one thing, try to take something away from a homeless person that belongs to them, like a backpack or go in their tent or something like that, or go in there shopping, whatever they use to transport their belongings or house their belongings. You will have a problem if you try to take it, because something is of value in whatever they're carrying or holding on to, and it's serious to them. Just like if somebody broke into your home and took something from you, you know, you would feel some kind of way about it, and you would probably do whatever was necessary in order to defend that position. So everybody who is homeless on the streets is not homeless because they cannot be inside of a home. Mental illness plays a large role, a very big part in creating a homeless situation. And now, what is mental illness? It's probably something that affects more people than we would like to give it credit for. Valerie Green says, remember Delaware Avenue? That's where the bombs used to be. The bums. That's where the bums used to be. Yeah, well, they spread them out. Carol Chamberlain says, Skid Row, Valerie. They cleaned that up too. Okay. Somebody's network. Tent City. Okay. Y'all got Tent City too? Okay. I didn't know that. Ansel Jones. My brother Ansel Jones is all up in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? And my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. I said my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. What's going on, my brother? Thanks for coming on through. Ansel Jones and Samaj Network too. Word. Appreciate you. All right. I said what Jones says, when people leave the military, if they didn't get their money right, they could be bums. Bums or homeless. Bums or homeless. Because what we're talking about tonight is why being a bum and being homeless, or why being homeless and being a bum ain't the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, any man who doesn't take care of his responsibilities is a bum. Any woman who doesn't take care of her responsibilities is a bum. Any person that blames all of their negative situations on somebody else as if it's really their fault, instead of taking any kind of accountability for their actions, is a bum. Anybody who doesn't go out there and motivate themselves, or become motivated by something in order to make their situation a little bit better, or a situation in which they are responsible better, is a bum to me. Now, maybe that's not the kind of bum you're talking about. Maybe you look at anybody who's homeless as being a bum, but they have encountered and discovered bums that actually had a lot. Homeless people that had a lot of money, more than enough money to have been able to secure a place to live, maybe even live better than you. Now, I'm not talking about those videos that we be seeing with people pretending to be homeless, pretending to be bums, begging for money on the streets, and then you see when they leave the area where they panhandle, they take off all of their clothes and they dressed all nice and shit, and they go and jump in this nice car, because all of those are videos, and they're not real, and it's a bunch of bullshit. And if you think that is real, you'll notice that they don't claim a TV network when they are so-called interviewing or following or probing or doing that sting operation on these bums. See, that's irresponsible though, because it'll have you thinking that the people out here on the streets, living on the streets like this, are really just trying to swindle people out of their money, just trying to play a trick and a game on people while they living better than you. And that's just not the case. If you don't think that somebody is homeless, if you think that somebody is faking to be homeless, all you have to do is check. If it's a male, check his haircut. If he has a line, if you can see that he's been shaped up, then more than likely he is not homeless. He got a line. He ain't stinking. That ain't because he went into a gas station or a bus station, train station, or somewhere like that and washed up. It's not because of that. He ain't real. And some of these, I remember when this fake homeless guy, fake bum, back in the day, used to ride the subway, and he used to be singing on the subway, and he used to have the whole get up. This dude never stunk. I used to just be looking at him like, because his hair, his cut was always shaped up, always. So sometimes he would wear things so you couldn't see that he was shaped up, but he was getting mad dough. And one time I said, yo, you got a hell of a game going on. And he said, mind your fucking business. And he was dead serious on that. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever interrupted a 3-card Molly game, but if you get into if the 3-card Molly guys are doing their thing and you come in there and try to reveal, what their game is, you're gonna have a problem. And that was the same kind of look and the kind of attitude and the voice tone that fake homeless dude gave me. He used to have grocery store bags tied around his feet, and he just be walking and singing. And he had a good ass singing voice too. So this motherfucker would be singing like some Luther Vandross and shit like that. I used to be like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. This motherfucker ain't homeless. He ain't a bum. He is an actor. But he had a good thing going. I wonder whatever happened to him. Him and the lady that used to be on the subway every day. I remember what happened to her. I remember she got killed. Either hit by a car, whatever. She used to be on the subway every day screaming, "You are going to hell. You are going to hell." I used to be like, oh, what the hell? She's very religious. She used to be passing out pamphlets and all that. But she would yell, "You are going to hell. You are going to hell. When she died, I was like, I wonder. She was actually a nice lady, though. Much more nicer than that fake bum. But maybe since he was faking to be a bum, instead of going out and getting a decent way or an honest way of making money, instead of, swindling out, well, playing on people's affections and sympathies, maybe he was a bum. He just wasn't a homeless bum or a poor bum. He wasn't a hobo. Yeah, he wasn't a hobo. Looking like a hobo. How many? How many? Yeah, I mean, 3 buffalo girls go round the outside. 3 buffalo girls go round the outside. Do see do your partner. Rest in peace to Malcolm McLaren. Okay. All right. Hold on. What y'all talking about over here? Robbie Mink says homeless people prefer to be homeless instead of going into shelters. I'm glad you brought up the whole shelter thing, because people wonder why people choose to be homeless, or why they just don't go into shelters. But anybody who has ever been in the shelter before or knows anything about it, no, it ain't sweet like that. Them shelters are not sweet like that. Not at all. And then David says there's so many levels. Bumishment. Yeah, I said it that way. Bumishment. Okay. Carol says Philadelphia Skid Row had lots of professional people who couldn't take the pressure of the life mentally. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you snap. Like, being homeless has a lot to do with mental illness. An awful lot. But sometimes, well, I know back in the day, if somebody was a straight up bum, we thought that they had failed in some area of their lives, some important area of their lives. Like, they developed a bad alcohol problem or a bad drug habit, or they just, burned every bridge that they ever built or that was ever built for them. They didn't put people in a position to look out for them. But I don't know. That was our assumption that may have been what happened to them, but we don't know. We don't know that. Robbie Ming says a lot of these shelters are terrible to live in. That's why they prefer to live in the streets. Yes, mental illness does play a big part in being homeless. Right. Valerie says many homeless people want their own place. They have plenty of money. I ran shelter and fees savings program, but not enough low income housing. Yeah, when they tore down the projects, when they imploded most of, or all, damn near all of the high rise projects in Philly, you had to ask yourself, like, yo, where did they all go? If you think like Raymond Rosen houses, they rebuilt the low rise house projects, but that wasn't that. Where did the rest of the people go? There used to be 9 buildings of high rise projects. Like, well, 9 high rises. So the landscape, the skyline of Philly looks a lot different than it did 40 years ago. You have Raymond Rosen housing projects that they rebuilt with the low rise homes, and then you had out 46th Street. They tore down those projects, or did they tear them down? I don't think they're there no more. Are they there? Are they occupied? If they are there, 46th Street, near Market, like, well, close to like Arch Race, whatever. Queen Lane projects between Morris Street and Pulaski. Where do those people go? I knew a lot of those people was right around the corner from me. So when you eliminated most of the high-rise projects, now you have a housing situation where some people just didn't know where to go. Especially when you consider the fact that they were living in the projects in the first place. So they probably didn't have a lot of training on how to pay their individual utility costs. See, the projects in Philly, and I have to qualify this with Philly because I thought the projects were the same everywhere. I came to find out later on that there are some housing projects where you actually pay your own utilities. I'd never heard of that before. So when I saw the movie Meet the Browns and Angela Bassett got kicked out of the project, well, they turned off her electric in the project. I was like, what is this bullshit? You don't pay no electric bill in the projects. You don't pay electric, water, gas, heat. You don't pay nothing. All you pay is for your phone and cable if you want it. And in Philly, all of the housing projects had Wilco cable. That was the only cable that was available to people who lived in the projects. Now, when they came out with a satellite, you could get a satellite, but you couldn't put it on the projects. Because you had to have zoning for that. So you had to mount it if you lived in a low-rise projects, and you could put it right there in your little yard. So yeah, I knew a lot of people living in the PJs, different ones. Oh yeah, they also tore down. What was the one on Girard Avenue? Down 10th and Girard. What was that? Something village. Some village. What's the name of the project? Not Richard Allen. Richard Allen is farther down. But the one right there, like 10th and Girard, 10th and Poplar. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My Philly peeps, and I know Philly peeps know what I'm talking about. What was it called? Something. What was this shit called? I've been in those two. Okay. So says if you live somewhere and you don't make an effort to help you a bum. I'm not going to dispute that. Sure am not. Narso says a bum sees you as their resource for their next high. Or it doesn't necessarily have to be a high. You know what I mean? A lot of these deadbeat dads, they're bums. They're not poor. No, they're not homeless. But they're bums. They have failed to take care of their responsibilities. They don't take care of their children. And don't seem to be looking for encouragement to do so. Not that you should have to be encouraged to take care of what you have created, especially if you are sure that you have created them. Especially if you're sure. So you just not doing it because what? I don't know. Anyway, the beauty I could not see. Thanks for coming on through. It's good to see you too. She says, I work at the airport, and during the pandemic in March, April, and beginning of May, over 250 homeless. Some of them was getting stimulus and checks and SSI. That's what I'm saying. So just like I said, just because you're homeless doesn't necessarily mean that you're, well, no, just because you're a bum doesn't mean that you don't have any money. They're rich bums. They're actually rich bums. But a lot of people who are homeless, I don't want to say choose to be homeless, but some of them have chosen. And I've seen them fight to live on the streets. Like, you know, like it's their property. Like, yo, this is my sidewalk. This is where I live. And they will put up a fight if you try to move them. Okay. Narcille says, believe it or not, somebody was busted getting in their bins a few years ago here. See, that's a different kind of bum. You just taking advantage of a situation where people will have sympathy for you. The beauty I could not see. Cherry says the homeless at the airport was buying my lunch. They have more money than I did. The funny part is they felt sorry for me. God damn. Well, how do you feel sorry for you? How they know your story? You letting these bums see your pay stub? They like, damn, Cherry, you ain't making no money. I have to put you on a payroll. Poor thing. That's crazy, right? That's crazy shit. All right. Valerie says, I think some of these men living in some of the shelters are lazy. They don't want to take on no responsibility. 3 meals, a place to sleep, that's enough. Man, look. Just like you said, living in a homeless shelter is not sweet like that. That's not a nice living circumstance. It's not. But you do have to save your money. If you think you're just gonna be in a shelter like, well, I ain't gotta pay no rent, I'm good. No, doesn't work that way. You're either going to get pushed up fast, very fast, on the Section 8 list, or you're going to have to save. You're going to have to get a job because you can't stay in there all day. You cannot stay in a shelter all day just laying up, watching your little TV or playing on your phone all day. They put your ass out, tell you not to come back for a certain amount of time. You got to go look for a job. If you have a job or found a job, you have to put away a certain amount of money, and they're going to see to it that they put your money in escrow so you will be raising enough money to be able to get a place of your own. Yeah, shelters and people who work at shelters, they not really on that bullshit. They might be mean, but they don't play that shit. They don't play. But that's just like saying, these cats who go back and forth to jail, like they go to jail because they get 3 hots in a cot. You can get 3 hots in a cot in a much better place than that jungle. So Jones, the homeless people on the Vegas Strip. Well, you know what that's about, though. You know what that shit is about. Vegas makes homeless people out of a lot of people. Y'all see Nicolas Cage and Leaving Las Vegas? That shit was crazy. Going to try to drink yourself to death. Actively, like, yo, I'm going to kill myself on some alcohol poisoning shit. TK, right, says shelters are dangerous and usually have time limits and stipulations. Yepper. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And then David says a lot of homeless people seek shelter in jails and prisons. Going to jail is easy as shit. You ain't hardly got to do shit to go to jail. TK Rice says bums chuck their responsibilities and would rather other people take care of them. Bums seek out caretakers. Now we talking. That's why being a bum and being homeless ain't the same thing. You may suffer from depression, schizophrenia, and a host of other really, really deep-seated mental illnesses, which may render you homeless. Because the road to becoming mentally ill is not sweet. A lot of people think that you just snap one day because something happened to you and poof, you're homeless. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't work that way. People who become mentally ill have started that shit a while back. and you start to see them slipping into darkness. But by the time they become homeless, if they become homeless, they have exhausted a lot of their resources because they've been crazy and they haven't been taking their medication, and they don't believe that they're crazy. So they don't believe that they need to take their medication, and they become dangerous to certain people. Sometimes even dangerous to the people who love them the most, like their moms, dads, brothers and sisters, people who would really, really look out for them. But they alienate them because they're crazy and they become dangerous. You got kids and you know that your brother is fucking crazy. Fucking around and hurt your children. You ain't having that shit. Like, look, you got to if you ain't gonna take your medicine, you got to get the fuck out of here. So you kick him the fuck out. Now look, he's on his own. You find out he didn't find another place to stay and he's homeless. It's sad. Valerie Green says mental illness, substance abuse, and domestic violence are the number one reasons for homelessness. Domestic violence. Shirley, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on? My goodness, see me. You. Oh. Cal Chambers says Raymond Rosen. Now, Raymond Rosen, that was down there. That was 23rd, 22nd, 23rd Diamond, going all the way down to 24th, 25th. I'm talking about. It's like at the tip of my tongue. It's 10th and Girard. 10th and Poplar. What's the name of the projects? What's the name of them? Okay. Robbie Ming says, true, Omar, bum lives off of other people. And a lot of guys charm these women to use them. Well, if you fly enough to be able to charm a woman into giving you her money and all of that, then you can't deny that you got to be a little bit suave. You got to be a little bit suave. You are suave. All right. Should have told y'all this a long time ago. But you can call into the show, as y'all already know. So if the feeling hits you, want to talk about why being a bum and being homeless ain't always the same, or if you believe that they are always the same, you can call into the show. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. 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 319-527-6199, baby. No censorship on this show. Press number 1 and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And I get you right on up in here. Express your passion in any form of fashion. Carol Chamberlain says, I told you Raymond Rosen. It was on Diamond Street. Raymond Rosen is on Diamond Street. They still there. Still the Raymond Rosen homes. At 10th and Girard. It's something Village. Something Village. Big high rise. It was 1, 2 high rise. And then you got the ones down there What's that, 10th and Diamond? The ones at 11th and Huntington are still there. Yeah, the ones at 11th and Huntington are still there. I'm talking about Bartram Village. That's out. That's out. Oh, what? No. All right. Hold on. Okay, wait. Robert Mink says they make those men get up and go get a job. There's no lounging in the shelter. Word. Emily says, oh, you just got here? You probably been listening in the background. You ain't just get here. You've been listening in the background, just ain't say nothing. You ain't slick. Yeah. You been here. You know how I know you've been here? Because that number didn't go up when you popped in here. That number didn't move, say. Hey, y'all, I got you. In the background, I see you. Love is love, though. Good to see you. Valerie says a veteran can bring $3,000 a month. We could only take 70%. 90 days is the max for shelters in Central Ohio. 90 days? Damn. Beauty Yakanasi Cherry says, seconds. Can I say something funny? As a single woman, I just cried every time I went to work and saw so many handsome homeless black men. I thought about it. That's all I'm going to say. Yo, slow down. Slow. Okay, wait a minute. 60 seconds. You fix that. Hold on. We not leaving just yet. Not yet. Okay. Okay, what do we got? Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah. So when we talk about somebody being a bum, there may have been times in our own lives when we were bums. There may be times when people in your family, people that you live with, your own children may have been bums. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, many of y'all probably tease your kids about being bums. Like, yo, you turned out to be a bum just like your father. Turned out to be a bum just like your mother. You turned out to be a bum just like my brother. Turned out to be a bum just like my dad. Turned out to be a bum. Carol Chamberlain. My bad. Raymond Rosen is at 23rd and Diamond. Wow. Yeah. Who knew? You know what? I I I TK Wright says, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name. So yeah. All right, peace of that. Good night. Y'all have a good one. Have a good weekend too. All right. So, but yeah, the homeless situation, from what I know about the homeless situation in Philly, is it's like 900 registered homeless in the city, which is supposed to be good in comparison to places like, you know how it is in San Francisco. The cost of living in San Francisco is just so far through the roof that people with really, really good careers, not jobs, but careers, can't afford to live there and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, the homeless situation is bad. LA, bad. New York, bad. Chicago, horrible. Now imagine being homeless in Chicago. You know how cold it is up there, motherfucker? Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Narzo says, I've had bummy moments. That hamster wheel got old quick. I hear you. Carol says, the projects I'm thinking about were at 12th and Poplar. Me too. Gerard Poplar started, you know. God damn it. Oh, man. What was the name of it? Fudge. Okay, let's see this. Post-war. Hold on, man. You know what? I know. Fuck. I know. I can get this shit right. I'll get to the bottom of this shit. And this shit right on the tip of my damn tongue. Hold on. You kicked all the homeless people out. Where you gonna go? Where you going? Please leave your message for. Forget it then. Forget it. We'll never figure it. We'll never figure it out. Valerie Green says, I can't imagine being homeless in Chicago or New York in the winter. I hate the cold. Listen. That's Chicago shit. New York is one thing. They ain't got shit on that Chicago. That Illinois. What? Man. That shit be biting. The hawk be out like crazy. That hawk is, that shit is sex hot. For real. Real sick. You know what I'm talking about? Nah. You don't want to brave that Chicago winter being homeless. But, a lot of people try to help out the homeless, give to the homeless, or try to relocate or house the homeless. And sometimes they get met with resistance. Some people are out on the streets because that's where they want to be. That's where they feel most comfortable. Not trying to diss them and not necessarily trying to sympathize with them or agree with them, but all of us have something that we're used to that somebody else can't understand. All of us have some type of thing going on with us where some kind of quirk, some kind of tick, some type of situation, some tolerance level, some desire that doesn't resonate with other people. But that's our thing. That's our thing, you know? And when you get into your own thing, not everybody's going to understand the thing that is yours, the thing that you're doing, the way that you are, the way that you want to be. Watch your cat. But yeah, and that's something that we have to take into consideration when we try to help somebody out that doesn't really want to be helped necessarily. You know, because the mental illness makes you believe that your situation is okay to be in. Carol Chambers says, according to Google, they say Richard Allen, but Richard Allen was the low rises, the high rises. I'm trying to figure out this fucking. Okay, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. This is what I'll do. Philadelphia housing projects in 1980. Okay. This should do it. This should do it. Public housing in Philly. All right. Passion, Riverview Course, Morton. They got them all in here. God damn. I don't see it. God damn it. Oh, shit. 8 diamonds. Bloomberg. Richard Allen. It's yeah, it says demolished, but they tore down the old what's the name of that damn place? Maybe we called it something that they didn't call it. Because that wasn't Richard Allen. God damn it. That wasn't Richard Allen. But you know what I'm talking about. Fuck. Or did they consider that to be Richard Allen? They ain't what nobody else called it. Oh well. Wasting too much time on this shit. Bottom line is don't be a bum. I didn't see passing on there. Okay, wait. You know what? I didn't see. Yeah, they definitely left some of them off the list because I didn't see East Falls. East Falls. Remember, they had the buildings, the high rises in East Falls. They had the homes, the low rise homes, and they had the high rises in East Falls. I didn't see that. Poplar. No. Fat. I'm never gonna find it. Oh, yeah, wasting time trying to find the name of this goddamn project. The hell with it. There are no projects. All right. Let's do these birthday projects. Let's do these birthday shout outs and be out of here. Mill Creek. That was in. TK Wright says Chicago and Detroit cold is special. That's that South Canada shit. Cleveland, Akron are brutal. The last high rise in West Philly, 46 Market, they talking about making them condos. Okay, so they still open. All right. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 21st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are number one out the box, LeBlanc Tatiana turning 30 years old today, and Marlena Harpool turning 45 years. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, and what's up now? And Nellie Nell Belzer turning 39 years old today, and Miss Lady Leo turning 54 years old today, and Ronetta Edwards turning 37 years old today, and Ava Robinson turning 32 years old today, and my girl, Frances Bam J. Goodson, my girl Frances Bam J. Goodson, happy birthday to you, and my girl Jacqueline Starr turning 62 years old today, and Patricia Braley turning 50 years old today. You know what I'm saying? My year, what up? 1970, baby. And Jerome in the house, Dorn. Jerome in the house, Dorn, turning 69 years old today. And Leonard Quattlebaum turning 56 years old today. And my girl, Kenyatta S. Leonard. Kenyatta Leonard, happy birthday to you. And last but certainly not least, my girl, Miss PG Bruce Sky Banoodles. PG Bruce Sky, my girl up there in Milwaukee, my peeps. Happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious August 21st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing, and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, just do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yeah. Listen, man, being homeless, being a bum, they could be the same, but they're not always the same. You know why they're not always the same? Because being a bum is something that happens on the inside. Being homeless is definitely something that happens on the outside. You cannot be outside and talk about, you cannot be living outside and be like, no, I'm not homeless. Oh, yes, you are. It's not something that you can just change just by thinking it away. But you can always improve your condition. But if you are in a mentally ill state, oh, you know what? There's something else that I meant to mention during the show is that they also closed all of the mental hospitals. Remember, we used to have a Barberry. They used to have Bellevue in New York. I don't know if they still have it, but we don't have the Barberry anymore in Philadelphia. And so when you close the mental hospitals, now remember the mental hospitals were not good places. They weren't the solutions by any chance because there was a lot of abuse and neglect going on in the mental hospitals. So they medicated everybody, gave them a check, and sent them out there into the world. And many of them became homeless because of it. They didn't want to live in a house, but they kept the check and they keep the check going. So you may be homeless, but it may be of your own volition. It may be of your own choosing. It may be exactly the way that you want to live. So the next time you see a homeless person, sometimes, they'll give you the skinny of their story. But when you see somebody else by the highway or on the streets and they got a sign, can you spare this? Can you spare that? Do you have some change? Homeless. Do you have some change? Well, it's your choice on whether to facilitate that or not. But take a little time out next time to think about whether they are bum or whether they are just homeless. They may absolutely, or actually, they could be neither. depending on how you look at it. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. We finally got back on track. Sorry for the mix up in the beginning. Y'all know how it goes. I kind of felt like that threw everything off, but it's gonna be all right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. You think I won't win? I will. So with that being said, oh yeah, hold on. Hey, yo, son. Yo, what was the name? What was the name of those high-rise projects at 12th and Poplar? Cambridge Mall. Thank you, son. Appreciate that shit. I couldn't remember that shit for nothing. Cambridge Mall. No, I can't. I'm in Facebook shell. I'll tell you about it later. All right. Cambridge Mall, y'all. Cambridge Mall. That's what we used to call it. Cambridge Mall. Yeah. I'm talking about something village. Like, no, not in village. Cambridge Mall. 12th and Poplar. Do you remember now? Come on, y'all. You remember? You remember? Remember? Hey, yo, Carol, you remember? Hey, yo, Charlene, you remember? Y'all remember? Y'all remember not? Y'all remember not? Cambridge Mall. That was a dangerous ass project right there. That shit. All right, y'all. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock a.m. We're going to be there on time, too. And by we, I mean me and y'all. All right? So y'all have a good night. Be safe. If y'all going out tonight or whatever to, meet up with people and all of that, just remember to wear your masks and all that stuff. Listen, the COVID is still out there. Make it through the summer without getting it. Make it through the summer without getting it. And I holla. Peace. All right, y'all.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Peace. You know what I'm saying? Love is love. And it's real love.